This man, I mean, he responded really well, but he was like, Bridget, you've been like a sister to me. This is just a little story about the time where I told my friend 3 years in college that I had a big fat crush on him. So I was gonna shoot my shot, and I walked into his room one day after I went on a date, and I was like, dude. And I just have to be honest, like, I have feelings for you. This man, I mean, he responded really well, but he was like, Bridget, you've been like a sister to me. But thank you so much for telling me, blah, blah, blah. Shattered. I was so embarrassed leaving that room, but
She thought it would be easy, but was surprised when he rejected her. She didn't know he had moved on after being in the friend zone for a while.
Let's have a little girl talk, okay? If you like a guy, the absolute best thing you can do is friend zone him. I am so dead serious about this. But Nikki, I don't want to put him in the friend zone because I really like him. I understand. But the problem with liking someone is that you give them too much credit before they even prove themselves to you. And also, you don't actually really get to know them. You just like this idea of them in your head. But if you friend zone them, then you're actually getting to know the person and see if you really like them. And you get to see if they're persistent enough to try to get out of the friend zone. I wish I knew that sooner because I feel like I would have been less weird around my crushes if I just friend zoned them.
That's bad advice. As soon as a girl tries to friend zone me, I cut them off quick. Most guys move on if they get friend zoned. Easiest way to lose the guy you like. Just be ready. If you put a guy in the friend zone, expect to see them in your friend's phone. I tried that. He got another girlfriend. This is how you get him to move on. She probably doesn't know it, but this is the easiest way to lose a confident man. No guy who values himself will accept friend zone spot. They are clever enough to take themselves out of that position without notice. She won't know he is gone until she sees him with another woman, and surprisingly, this is when most of them get upset and regret not taking their opportunity when they could. Hopefully, she recorded this video just for content, because this strategy is no longer valid, as most of us already know there are no benefits being in the friend zone. We will move on to another woman if placed in that situation, so if a woman follows her advice, she will definitely lose a good man. Why would you place him in the friend zone if you have the opportunity to be his girlfriend? What are you waiting for? Is she waiting to see if other women take him to raise her interest? We know women like pre-selected men, and that's why usually they start seeing the friend zone guy differently when they start dating another woman. They only friend zone men they are not attracted to, mainly for free attention and validation, or a plan B in case they need a quick replacement for their ex. So why would a guy do that to himself?
If you find yourself in the friend zone, I would advise you to do what the guy in this video did. He couldn't see any benefits being part of that list and decided to do the right thing.
A win is a win. Not the ending we wanted, but it was the ending we needed. Now she ain't gotta worry about losing you as a friend. Shoot your shot. Same brother, 7 years of chasing for 1 year of dating. It's better. Don't settle for being a second choice or a backup. I did this. But somehow, I ended up being her friend again. This is the best thing every guy should do if placed in the same situation. Why would you want to be the second plan? Why would you want to be the backup if things don't work out with Chad? You know you can do better. You need to understand there are little to no benefits being in the friend zone, and that's why you should remove yourself from that spot anytime you get invited to fill that position. Use your time and resources wisely, and give your energy to women who share the same interests instead of those who want you around only for their own benefit. There is no losing when you make this move. It's a win-win situation. And I am glad he did it, as there is no point in settling for a backup plan.
Most women think they can easily get with their friend zone guy anytime they want, but sometimes they are shocked after finding out he is no longer available. She was placed in the friend zone and didn't know it. She thought he would jump to date her, but was surprised when he told her she was like a sister to him. They take the guy in the friend zone for granted, then they get surprised when he's gone.
this is just a little story about the time where I told my friend 3 years in college that I had a big fat crush on him. This story always cracks me up, and I always think about it around like January, February, because that's when it happened. But pretty much, my friend Brady and I were really good friends in college for 3 years. There was one day where I was like, literally, I developed a crush on him like super early on. He is so cute and just so nice. He's just everything I was looking for. So I was gonna shoot my shot, and I walked into his room one day after I went on a date, and I was like, dude, I need to talk to you. Every time I go on a date or I'm doing something, like I'm always comparing this person to you, and I just have to be honest, like, I have feelings for you. This man, I mean, he responded really well, but he was like, Bridget, you've been like a sister to me, but thank you so much for telling me, blah, blah, blah. Shattered. I was so embarrassed leaving that room, but at the same time, I felt relieved.
How did she expect him to react? Was he supposed to jump and declare himself at the same time? They take too long to understand that the right man is already in front of them, and then they get surprised when he loses interest. Most of them only notice him after many failed attempts to secure Chad, like in her situation.
Because I was like, I've had a crush on him forever, we've been friends, like, chapter book closed, right? I said, like, I told him, don't worry about it, like, the chapter book can close, like, I'll move on now, no big deal, okay? No big deal. It wasn't a big deal. Anyway, literally a year to that date, we had a conversation because he was sending me all these mixed signals over like that next year. Like he was asking me, this is when COVID hit, he was like, oh, I'll build you your dream house. Like, how many kids do you want? I was like, oh, I want an A-frame on a lake, blah, blah, blah. I'll just smash all my kids in there and it'll be perfect, my dream life. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'll build that for you. Bye. Why would you say that, Brady? Then little things coming up, like when there were like deaths in his life and like things like that, I was always the first person that he would call. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, we're just friends, and what you're asking of me, like these boundaries you're asking me to like take down, are like more than just friends. So we had a conversation one day. I was finally like, hey, what are your intentions when you're doing these things? Because you're really confusing me. And I know you said we're just friends, but I just have to know. And that's when he was like, well, ever since you told me you liked me, I guess I really have started developing feelings for you over this last year. And then he kissed me 3 times in his truck. And now it's like 2 years later and we're engaged. So don't be afraid to get friend zoned, you might get out of it. That's all I have to say. Love you all.
This is feeding into my delusions about ending up with my friend who said he doesn't see us in a romantic relationship. You are so brave for being so vulnerable with him. I literally could never with any of my friends. Literally the day after I told my guy best friend that I liked him, he said he doesn't like me back. You didn't need to tell me this because I just got friend zoned. This was definitely not the time to hear this. Don't feed my delusions. She always compared her dates to him as he was the image of her ideal person, so why was she trying to date another guy when he was already close to her? She didn't have to go elsewhere, but as always, he probably was too nice to be her boyfriend until she ran out of options. I bet she wouldn't have looked at him if Chad offered her the commitment she wanted. But it was interesting when he told her she was like a sister to him. He definitely was seeing someone when she reached out, and that's why he rejected her advances. Luckily, a year later when he was free, he decided to give her a chance, this to show they should take their opportunity while they still can, before it's too late. This type of experience is good as it gives women the other side of the coin. It makes them understand what we go through when we are also placed in that spot. I bet she will be more considerate with guys when it comes to place them in that category. The best part of this video was the comment section. It was full of women who were in the same situation. They had been placed in the friend zone, and they were happy to know that luckily this girl was fortunate and got out of it, and most of them said her story gives them hope as they also expect to get out of it.
They always have the same reaction when they are still able to get Chad's attention, but as soon as Chad is no longer interested, this is when they crawl back to the friend zone guy to check if he wants to date them. Guys in the friend zone will always be just a friend while Chad is still around. That's why you shouldn't settle for nobody's plan B.
You who I call brother, how could you have come to hate me so? Is this what you wanted?
If I start to feel interested, I ask one time. I hear just friends, I'm cool with that, and I go look elsewhere. Don't expect to keep a guy friend around after he took the risk of admitting his feelings to you and got rejected. It's selfish. Come on, I am sure he's not that bad. If I'm brother zone, then expect to get ghosted. If I'm friend zone, then expect to get ghosted. Another girl who doesn't realize a good thing. My friend who was a girl got super mad and jealous when I talked to other girls, but wouldn't date me. Make it make sense. Make sure you keep the same energy when you get rejected by Chad and want someone to lean on. Also keep the same energy when you realize he was your best option, but it's too late as he is already in a new relationship. Based on her video, Chad is still around, therefore, she wants to remind him he is like a brother, but as soon as things start going left, she will come back to check on him and see if they can work something out. And this is how they lose a good man who could potentially be a great partner. They keep the friend zone guy on the waiting list in case they need him, but wait until he gets a girlfriend. That's when they get jealous and regret their decision.
We came to the end of our video. We have selected another for you. It's displayed on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We really appreciate that.